The H1B Guy here, and today, the H1B Guy news for the week ending January 29th, 2021. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube and like this video so that I can continue to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. I help businesses and individuals solve complex work authorization issues in the recruitment process while bringing awareness to employment-based immigration benefits. Today's news is brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. I wanted to give a huge thanks again to Maddie, Dr. O, Richard, and Vivek for coming on the H1B Guy and Friends Live, Episode 1, where we covered updates to the USCA21 timeline, comprehensive immigration reform, EAD processing delays, and the new travel ban. I also had some breaking news during that live stream. The H1B Guy podcast is now official. I'll be posting exclusive content to the podcast in a series called Immigration Bites, as well as reposting my Stamp It Out series that I've already done so that you can listen to that in audio format. You can subscribe directly at anchor.fm/the H1B also currently available on Spotify and Pocket Casts. Now, the news. January 25th, 2021, in an article written by Genevieve Douglas for Bloomberg Law titled Biden's H4 Work Permit Plan, a Step Toward Fixing Program Woes. Quote, President Joe Biden's proposal for legislation giving spouses of H-1B visa holders work authorization will alleviate a lot of uncertainty surrounding the current state of the program, but persistent problems could undermine those efforts, immigration attorneys say. Created in 2015 via executive action by then-President Barack Obama, the initiative gave work authorization to H-4 spouses of H-1B specialty occupation workers who had been approved for green cards but are waiting for them to become available. More than 120,000 people, most of them women from India, have applied for spousal employment authorization documents. As part of this immigration package unveiled on January 19th, Biden included a provision to give dependents of H-1B visa holders work authorization. Though additional details are scarce, that would give the current H-4 work permit program a more permanent place in immigration law than it previously had. While the statutory fix for H-4 employment authorizations won't fix the problem of processing times, it could give employers of these guest workers more certainty than their work authorization will remain in place. So, I wanted to go back to the removing H-4 dependent spouses from the class of aliens eligible for employment authorization. This is from the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, Office of Management and Budget, Executive Office of the President. Concluded action withdrawn. Concluded date 01/25/21. So pretty big news that has been widely reported and covered by multiple outlets. As we've previously covered here, H4EADs are estimated to be around 90% women. This is a positive step in the right direction for equality. Long was the H4EAD the target of former President Trump's administration, continually seeking to revoke its status. Now it will be but a forgotten past. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the H4EAD processing backlogs that are currently being experienced by hundreds of individuals whose status is in jeopardy and uncertain due to these ongoing delays. Let's hope the new regime overseeing DHS can get its USCIS division up to normal speed in the next few months. January 25th, 2021. In a publication written by Roxanne H. Levine for Tartar, Krinsky, and Drogan titled H1B Cap Season is Imminent, What You Should Know This Year. Quote, the new Biden administration at the helm, we note that the H1B final midnight regulations promulgated Friday, January 15th, 2021 by the former administration have been rescinded. Those regulations, which set up a priority system based on higher wages, levels according to the U.S. Department of Labor OES Occupational Employment Statistics guidelines will not take effect, and we await further guidance in this area. The final rule regarding the selection process, entitled, quote, Modification of Registration Requirement for Petitioners Seeking to File HCAP Subject H-1B Petitions, which was to take effect on March 9th, 2021, has been withdrawn. Prior to 2020, USCIS monitored the number of H-1B registrations it received in the first 5 days of April. In any year that mandated cap of 85,000 H-1B petition submissions was exceeded, USCIS would conduct a random lottery, first selecting the 20,000 master's degree H-1B filings and thereafter the 65,000 bachelor's degree H-1B cap cases. Last year, for the first time, USCIS introduced an H-1B pre-registration period from March 1st through March 20th, 2020, receiving approximately 275,000 petitions for the treasured 85,000 spots. Random filing selections were made initially, with master's degree cases made a priority in the initial filing period from April 1st through June 30th. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the high unemployment rate that ensued, a dearth of filings led USCIS to open the H-1B cap once again for those not selected in the initial filing period, and selected applicants to submit H-1B petitions from August 14th to November 16th, 2020. Since USCIS viewed the H-1B cap pre-registration period as success, it is likely that it will once again use this method for the upcoming H-1B cap filing period. USCIS estimated it saved approximately $1 million in postal service fees to return rejected H-1B petitions with uncashed filing fees to U.S. petitioners. If the wage-based selection for this year's lottery has been withdrawn and wage level increases for LCAs are no longer being considered, then it would be really nice for DHS, USCIS, and DOL to make it official. I'm getting dozens of messages a day on this, especially the wage-based selection for the lottery, and I don't have an answer. The only official information I can provide on the H-1B lottery is from USCIS modifies H-1B selection process to prioritize wages and modification of registration requirement for petitioners seeking to file cap subject H-1B petitions. As I've said, I think this is a good thing and a welcome change in reference to the wage-based selection for the lottery versus the previous random selection process. I know Roxanne wouldn't be on the record of saying both have been withdrawn without a credible source, nor would the several other legal experts who have come out and said it isn't happening for fiscal year 2022's H-1B lottery. The dates and how all this align really make it very interesting. As of the time of this writing, we are 31 days away from fiscal year 2022 lottery window opening for electronic filings. I've been wrong before, but I think there's still a good possibility this could happen this year. Please, please, please don't hold it against me if it doesn't. Listen to more from me on this on the new H1B Guy podcast on anchor.fm/the H1B Guy later this weekend, where I'm going to post the first immigration bites covering wage-based selection and this wage level rule increase that are being left in the dark. January 26, 2021, in an article written by Laura Barron Lopez, Anita Kumar, and Sabrina Rodriguez for Politico titled, Biden Open to Breaking His Immigration Bill into Pieces. Quote, multiple sources close to the administration said they expect the White House will let Congress take the lead on forging reform, even though Biden introduced his own bill. The White House will provide guidance, and indeed, Chief of Staff Ron Klain and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan are said to be hands-on and feel a responsibility and an ownership over the immigration push already. But the main objective is progress, and if that means moving components of the reform through Congress one at a time or in smaller packages, Biden will be fine with that. but they warn if substantial immigration reforms don't reach his desk by the end of the year, Democrats and Biden would not only face an uproar from Dreamers and grassroots organizers, but the party could suffer politically as well. At a minimum, Biden seems keen to avoid the missteps during former President Barack Obama's first term when Democrats controlled both chambers, but Obama didn't pursue comprehensive immigration reform. Well, I can't say this is surprising. Why? Well, President Biden has been consistent in his approach of leveraging Congress to produce new immigration reform. It's also evident that President Biden's administration wants to pursue the undocumented illegal immigrant reform first, and that shouldn't come as a surprise. In doing so, they could cast aside the legal immigrant reform that is so badly needed. Now, I'm not saying that what's going to happen here is that they're going to break this out and it's not possible. But as we discussed on the H1B Guy and Friends on Wednesday night, the timeline is anywhere between May and the end of 2022. This isn't going to happen overnight. I think the good news here is for documented dreamers. If the comprehensive immigration reform, USCA21, is broken apart, I believe there's a very good chance that documented dreamers will find the necessary reform included for them as part of an individual bill. I think that they will couple it together with the deferred action for childhood arrivals, or what we refer to as undocumented dreamers. Taking a back seat in the interim would most likely mean an extensive overhaul to the green card system for both employment and family-based preferences. And let's not forget, reform language from 2021 surrounding the H1B visa has still yet to be introduced as part of USCA21. January 27th, 2021. In an article written by Carlos Montoyo Galvez, written for CBS News, titled James McHenry, Trump-era head of immigration courts to step down. Quote, James McHenry, who led U.S. immigration court system for much of the Trump administration, will step down from his role at the helm of the Justice Department branch this weekend. McHenry's departure from the top position at the Executive Office for Immigration Review, which will take effect Sunday, comes as the Biden administration has been replacing top government officials who shepherded major Trump-era immigration restrictions. Immigration advocates, lawyers, and even immigration judges also accuse McHenry of politicizing the immigration court system and stripping it out of meaningful independence. The U.S. immigration court system's backlog of cases has ballooned in recent years to nearly 1.3 million pending adjudications as of last month. President Biden has pledged to double the number of immigration judges, staff, and interpreters to reduce the massive backlog. I think we'll continue to see this happen over the next few weeks as former President Trump-era administration officials will continue to quickly exit. There's really not a lot of positive reviews for Mr. McHenry's tenure, so this comes as no surprise and most likely a very welcome change. The fact that there are 1.3 million cases pending adjudications from last month alone should speak volumes as to why this is a good thing for cleaning up a lot of the mess that has been created over the last 4 years. To read the full post on the H1B Guy news for the week ending January 29th, 2021, please check out the H1BGuy.com. And while you're there, please subscribe to the H1BGuy.com website so that you can receive the first volume of the H1B Guy Digest, which will be going out this weekend. And a reminder that today's news was brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. This national job board network provides recruitment websites in 1,024 major U.S. metro areas. Each local job board is its own portal and is a low-cost resource for immigration recruitment ads for all industries and professions with a flat price of $225 per ad regardless of which city you choose. RecruiterNetworks.com has been the #1 place for immigration attorneys, immigration ad agencies, and employers to meet the DOL requirements for the digital portion of the perm advertisement rules. RecruiterNetworks.com. Tell them the H1B Guy sent you. Just want to ask you again to please like this video, subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post new content here to this channel or that we go live like we tend to do on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my content. I really appreciate your support. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.